Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to read lesson 2 today, Life in Ancient Egypt. And I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're joining me for this activity. So please turn to page 45. All right, so here we go. The first page has our essential question: what makes a culture unique? How was ancient Egypt governed? What kind of religion did ancient Egyptians practice? Why and how were the pyramids built? And how was Egyptian society organized? Some terms to know are theocracy, a government in which the same person is the political and religious leader. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. Whoa, not that much. Theocracy. A pharaoh is the ruler of ancient Egypt. A bureaucrat is a government official. Embalming is a process of preserving dead bodies. Pyramid is a great stone tomb built for an Egyptian pharaoh. This is our timeline. Again, the Egyptian settlements began in 5000 BC, and lasted all the way to 750. So that's a total of around 4,000 years. So right now we have a KWL. So in the K column, I want you to list some things you already know about the life in ancient Egypt. And that's okay if you don't know a whole lot. And the W column lists what you want to know. And after you've read the lesson, fill in the L column with what you've learned. And remember, you can pause the video to do your assignment and, press play whenever you get done. Okay, we're on page 46. The top of page 46 says, Egypt's early rulers. The Old Kingdom began in Egypt around 2600 BC. It lasted for about 400 years. During this time, the Egyptians built cities and expanded trade. Their kings or pharaohs set up a government. Egypt was a theocracy. This means that the pharaoh was both the political and religious leader. The pharaoh had total power. He could use all the land in Egypt any way he wanted. His orders were obeyed without question. Pharaohs appointed officials called bureaucrats. They were in charge of irrigation canals and crop planting. They made sure the grain was saved the grain was saved to help people get through hard times. Bureaucrats also controlled trade and collected taxes from farmers. As religious leader, a pharaoh participated in ceremonies that helped the kingdom. For example, he was the first to cut the grain at harvest time. Egyptians believed their pharaoh was the son of Ra, the Egyptian sun god. They believed he protected the people during hard times. So here's theocracy. It's when a ruler is both a political and religious leader. The duties of the pharaoh's bureaucrats, right in here. And then number 3, how was the pharaoh both a political leader and a religious leader? In here, okay? So the pharaoh's duties included unifying Egypt. He had to lead during good and bad times, to hire officials, to give orders, and to participate in religious ceremonies. Religion in Egypt. Religion affected every part of Egyptian life. Egyptians worshipped many gods and goddesses. They believed that gods controlled nature. The sun god Ra was important because the sun was necessary for good crops. Egyptians believed that life after death was better than the present life. They thought that the dead made a long journey, and at the end they reached a place of peace. The Book of the Dead was a collection of prayers and magic spells. Egyptians studied it. They believed that if they did these things, the god Orias would grant them life after death. So number 4, list 3 ways that religion affected life in ancient Egypt. So, gods control nature, which means they would have power over the crops. Right in here and right in here. Okay. Moving to. All right, guys, I'm on page 47. Whoa. Okay, 47. For centuries, Egyptians believed that if the pharaoh's soul reached the afterlife, he would continue to protect Egypt. To live in the afterlife, the pharaoh's soul needed a body. Eventually, Egyptians believed all people could reach the afterlife. They developed a process called embalming to protect the body. It involved removing organs from the dead body and then drying and wrapping the body in cloth. Embalming taught the Egyptians about the human body. They learned how to treat illnesses, and they wrote down what they learned in the world's first medical books. Egyptians built pyramids, a large triangle-shaped tomb to hold the bodies of the pharaohs. Pyramids protected the bodies from floods, wild animals, and grave robbers. They also held the things that the pharaoh might need in the afterlife, such as clothing, furniture, and jewelry. Thousands of people worked for many years to build a pyramid. Farmers, surveyors, engineers, carpenters, stonecutters, and enslaved people all worked on pyramids. Workers found the stone. Artisans cut it into blocks. Others tied the blocks to wooden sleds and pulled them to barges or boats. The barges floated them to the building site. There, workers unloaded the blocks, pushed them up the ramps, and set them into place. Each pyramid sat on a square base with a north entrance. To find true north, the Egyptians studied the sky. Number 6. Why did Egyptians protect a person's body after death? Right in here. Number 7. How were the pyramids built? Right in here. Number 8. Why did the Egyptians build the pyramids? Again, up in here. Right in here. Alright, Egyptians had to figure out the amount of stone and angles for the walls. They developed and used mathematics and geometry to do this. So you can thank the Egyptians for some of the math homework. We've got the Greeks and the Romans and the Egyptians. Egyptians' achievements included astronomy, a 365-day calendar, geometry and mathematics, a system of written numbers, and fractions. About 2540 BC, the Egyptians built the Great Pyramid. It is located about 10 miles south of the modern-day city of Cairo. It is one of the 3 pyramids still standing in Giza. The Great Pyramid is the height of a 48-story building and is made of more than 2 million stone blocks. All right, we're going to the next page. All right, last page, you guys. Whoop, I keep doing that. Bless it. Okay, so we have a triangle here, and this is a representation of a society pyramid. So the people on the bottom are low class, and the person on top is the most important. And on this one, we have the ruler, who was the pharaoh. And at the bottom, you have the farmers, the enslaved people, the unskilled workers, okay? Every Egyptian had a place in society. The pharaoh and his family were at the very top. The upper class lived in cities and on large estates along the Nile. Servants waited on them. The middle class ran businesses or made goods. They lived in smaller homes. Egypt's lower class was its largest class. Most farmers lived in one-room mud homes. Unskilled workers lived in small homes with dirt floors. In ancient Egypt, the father headed the family. Women had the right to own property, buy and sell goods, and to get divorced. Few Egyptians sent their children to school. Mothers taught their daughters to run a household, and boys learned job skills from their fathers. Number 9, what types of people made up Egypt's upper class? Number 10, underline the rights of Egyptian women, right in here. All right, check for understanding. You're going to have to go back to page 46 for for the first one, knowing 4 duties of the Pharaoh. That's on page 46 in that little scroll looking thing. And then the next one lists 2 inventions. That's going to be on page 47, okay? Now, I didn't bring home the documents A and B, but if you'll just look at those, and then tomorrow we'll talk about document B. We should have done most of document A in class today. Document B is about the flooding cycle, so just do your best on that. And yeah. So, thank you for watching, and if you were in my classes today, you know things were a little hectic. Let's call it hectic. It was a little bit hectic today, and it was a bit all over the place, and everybody didn't have their homework done, and I really hope that these videos will help encourage some of you to do your homework and to participate in class more, because I really want us to do well. And I think that we are just, we're out of sync right now, and we just have to, get it back together tomorrow. Both of us, me and you and everybody else. So I appreciate you coming to listen, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.